Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Intrinsic. As you can see right now, the sun is setting. We're going to keep going, because I don't want to go back down to my bed right now. So, as you can see behind me, the airship is gone. Horse and I sat down on Saturday, and I threw my beacon up there for a few, and we took it down in about 20 minutes, thankfully with two people. It didn't take too long. There was a bit of murder that occurred, mine specifically. There was a golem, and for some reason the villagers just created one, and it was immediately angry. Apparently it just hated existence. So, yeah, it killed me, and the bed I had set had ended up getting broken by horse, of course. The horse, of course. Of course the horse. So, I got sent all the way back to spawn. So I walked all the way back here, went up the bubble column that was still there at the time, and it was waiting for me, and it killed me again. Thankfully, after that, horse murdered the thing, so I didn't have to deal with it. And there's a skeleton after me. Beautiful. So, like I said, no more airship. And I will say, I'm so glad it's gone. That airship had been clogging up kind of my thought processes and the whole creative thing. So, it was making it really hard for me to come up with any new ideas because my mind was so stuck on that thing because I couldn't come up with anything else for it. So I'm pleased it's gone. I spent the entire weekend just inspired. So there's tons of stuff going on. You can see we've got some farm supplies. So the original plan was Wizard and I were going to build one together, but unfortunately he's having some issues right now. So one of the first things we're going to be hunting up this. I had planned on this happening today, but we may have to take some time to find another monument, because I'm not going to take his monument from him to build my guardian farm. That's just not cool. So we do have all our materials needed for our creeper farm. So you guys will probably get to see my industrial district today, because this isn't absolutely going up today. So we got our Hall of Head stuff and our treasures, and a neat little thing I did. Yesterday, I decided to make a point, because I've been swearing up and down I could fly to Season 3 anytime I wanted to. So I did. And I picked up all of my axolotls. And I'm the crazy one on the server. I'm the only one that would fly that far. Of course, I used another roof, so it wasn't that bad. It only took about 20 minutes to fly there and about a stack of rockets. So, as you can see now, there are a few villagers down here. So these were the guys from the airship that I wanted to save, because I spent a lot of time rolling some of them. And of course, there's two over there. They were unemployed, and I thought, it might be a good idea to have a couple of stonemasons on hand, because I can quarry as much stone as I want to at any given time and sell it. So this guy buys stone and granite, and this guy buys stone and diorite, which is great because I don't like diorite, so I can turn it into emeralds. I also spent some time yesterday I spent a few hours mining on Saturday, a little before and a little after the Hardcore World stream, which if you guys want to check out, they are over on Mist has nothing to do with that. They're over on Somebody in Horse's Twitch, so you can go check that out and see what we were up to there. Well, as of the moment, I'm not recording or streaming that series, I'm just a part of it. It is a very fun series, and I feel like my own insanity is a really good mix in there, because I can get things done, and because I'm not recording the series, I'm not as afraid of dying, I guess. So from here, I have also been working on plans for the manor. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my creative test world real quick, and we can check out what kind of plans I've got. Alright guys, so here we are. So I went ahead and used Lightmatica to bring a copy of the storage room on over to my creative world. As you can see, there's two other ones over there. And don't worry about stuff over there. That's not for this episode. So it's a little sneak peek for you guys. But that's a new farm of my own design. And I'm actually quite proud of it. It's a little overly complicated for what I need. But it's my own design. And that's what I'm proud of. So, as you can see right in here, we did bring this wall. Whoops. Gotta remember, I'm in creative. That breaks things. We brought this wall 2 blocks higher. Why we did that was because this wall overall will need to be 2 blocks higher because of these. Of course, these eventually won't be visible, but the top of the storage room will need to all be in line. So I went ahead and got that sorted out. And as you can see from here, I've kind of knocked down some of this to make it a little more level. We have been mapping out the area. So this is the front of the manor. So this calcite here that you see, these are archways I've planned. Of course, these are just kind of a general shape. Nothing specific yet. Of course, I'm going to do something more with them. I was just kind of trying to look at the spacing of how I'm going to put them. So this is going to wrap around, and this is going to be like the front area. It'll be roofed as you go to walk in the front door. And then that copper there's just to kind of notate the area of the front door. So, and then these calcite circles are going to actually be the towers that sit at the front of our manor. So I spent quite a few hours working on this and looking at pictures of different, English style manors, because that's really what I'm going for. I love the look of English style manors. I think they're some of the prettiest houses you can build. Of course, I've never built one before, so this is going to be a new thing, and I'm so excited for it. So I plan for it right now to have at least 3 floors, but it may end up being taller. It really just depends on how high I make the roof of the floor. So from here, you can see we've got these little cross sections. These don't notate anything. These are just kind of where I initially started off outlining, and then I've added more onto it. So it's very asymmetrical right now, and that's the goal. Now, one of the things you guys may notice with this outline, what's right here on the server? There's a mountain. And for this to be our back garden, there's more mountains in the way. So I guess kind of our next step, before we can even really start laying out the outline, in fact, there's mountains on that side too. We're going to have to start taking down mountains. Now, there is a few other things that are going to be in our way. The brew shop, which I told you guys last episode, is going to come down. The other thing, our little creeper and spider farm sits right about here. Well, I say right about here. No, in reality, it sits more right about here-ish. More, maybe here. Somewhere around that area. But either way, it's in the way. The only thing I can really hope for right now is that this area doesn't meet up with our iron farm. So once I get it done, that everything that I know for a fact needs to be torn down is torn down, then I can make start the process of laying out these lines. Now, being as this is such an odd shape, rather than counting all the blocks, I'm actually going to use Matica to take a schematic, that's what they're called, of all of this. So we can then lay that down over the top of this and then trace it out on the server for our outline. So from here, let's go ahead and get back to the server, and let's get started on our work for today. And here we are. This island here, albeit it's kind of large and covered in trees right now, is where my industrial district will be based around. So this island is a good little ways off the east coast of the eastern continent that I'm on. So there's nobody else with the base that'll be anywhere close to here. So the plan, I think, is that we're going to kind of build the creeper farm out over this way. And as for the exact location, I'm still working on it. We don't really have to worry with the creeper farm about making sure it's lit up on the island yet, simply because we'll be high enough up on our AFK platform that the island won't be spawnable. So, those are just a couple of dump shulkers. We have all the supplies we should need for starting our farm. So, for the moment, I'm going to take a few minutes to gather up a little bit of dirt to kind of get us up from the ocean floor. Alright guys, so I took that time to gather up some dirt, and I just want to take a moment to get real with you guys about some things. I know last season, and I've talked about it several times, I experienced some severe burnout. So, the problem I had was, first, that I didn't know there was much time left in the season. And, well, I thought there wasn't much time left, and it turned out I had plenty of time. I could have done a lot of stuff with the time that was left. So I did a lot of stuff in a really short time span and really burnt myself out. I literally only played Minecraft for weeks. And I didn't get much in terms of content because I wasn't sure entirely what I was doing. I was new to this whole SMP recording thing. It was new for me. So after I kind of started to experience my burnout in Season 3, I took some time, tried learning about a few different methods of creating content, and I've come up with a few ways that make things easier for me while also being able to still provide you guys with regular content like I've been doing this season, and I'm still breaking blocks. I recorded everything that I did on the server to the point where I would have anywhere from 3 to 12 hours of footage to go through at any given time, and I frankly just didn't want to. No, it sucked. Editing would take days, where with the new method I'm using, I could record and edit a video in 2 days if I really were to push for it. Right now I'm not doing that. I'm still getting into the flow of making sure I get out at least a video every week. Once I'm a little more comfortable with that, then there's more to come. I've got plenty of plans that are brewing around this head of mine. Let's just say I'm filling up my notebook really quickly right now. So, while I'm building a bunch of farms in this episode, or at least that's the plan, I also learned a lot more about Minecraft. I have discovered more of the technical side of Minecraft that I found I really, really enjoy. So I've been checking out things like the Sidecraft guys, watching their Peaceful Challenge series as of right now. And it's amazing because just watching alone is making me think in ways that I've never tried to think before. It's also part of the reason why I really wanted to get in on this hardcore series with Horse and Somebody. Being as it's a mushroom-only world, it's forcing me to think in terms that I've never had to before, to a point where maybe I can come up with new farm designs and all kinds of crazy stuff that maybe doesn't make sense in a normal world. So, and I've been, trust me, my mind has been racing with new ideas. So I can't wait until Saturday because, oh man, I have got some crazy stuff that I've been thinking of. But I'm not going to spoil any of that. So, and some of it's still experimental, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if any of it's going to work yet. But that's the joy of redstone and farms. Sometimes you don't know if a farm is even going to work until you actually try to build it. And just remember, guys, you can create something creative all day long. But, in the end, if it doesn't work in survival, it's pointless. But, after that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out here into the ocean. And we're going to start getting us a creeper farm. Normally I would time-lapse this, but being this last episode was so time-lapse heavy, and I've built a creeper farm before on stream, which got taken down because I used copyrighted music. Not going to do that again. I've built a creeper farm before. I'm not going to time-lapse this. I'm just going to check back in with you guys here in a little bit and throughout the process, because it's a long process to get it built, but it's well worth the work. And I've said creeper farm a few times. This farm will actually produce creepers and spiders. So, guys, I'm going to get out here, and I'm going to get to it. I was supposed to hit the water there. There we go. I'll be back to check in with you guys in a little bit. Alrighty then, guys, so we're back with a little bit of a progress update. So as you can see, we've got a little bit done. We've got our collection platform and what will be our killing chamber. I haven't put the stuff in to kill them yet because I'm an idiot. I'm going to fall in if I do. So we've got our collection system and our storage put in there. We've got 9 chests in that, so that should be plenty. It was more than enough last season whenever I was running this thing all night. So we've got our first platform built. And if I measured this correctly, let's see if we can go ahead and fire this thing off real quick. Let's go. We're going to come up here, and we're going to trigger this. And that should, and it does. Awesome. Break that. So while a lot of creeper farms will actually trigger from the bottom, they'll actually put more space underneath to allow it to trigger down there. I actually prefer triggering it from the top because you don't have to worry about stuff getting caught up there, and the timer I use, instead of using an etho hopper clock, we use a long repeater clock. So this farm is actually a modified version of I don't know who designed the farm off the top of my head. I'll look that up in between clips and actually let you guys know later on in the video. I followed a Shulker Craft tutorial last season for mine, so I'm actually modifying this one to allow spiders to spawn. Because that glorious, glorious string, and frankly, at points in the season, I'm going to need all of those spider eyes. So, from here, and if I'm right, this should be 2 blocks tall, and it is. we keep building platforms. We've got 10 of these to build. We've got one done, 9 to go. So I suppose I will check back with you guys here again in a little bit. And hopefully here within the next little bit, we will have a running spider and creeper farm. So, pull up a chair, grab your coffee, as I fall into the collection chamber. Okay, so we're currently back at the storage room for a moment. I planned for so many stacks of stone bricks, and we ran out on the 9th platform. So we still need some more for the rest of the 9th platform, the 10th platform, and the roof of it. So let's see, what do I have for bricks? That should be enough. Okay, so guys, we got all the floors put in, all 10 of them. And now for the worst part about building this farm. We have to go down, get trapdoors on the roof of all the platforms. That's going to take a few hours, I'm sure. I think it took me 2 hours last time. And get water buckets put in each and every one of the dispensers. So, I'm going to get to work on that, and man, I hate this part. This part really sucks. But it's going to be worth it. So, I'm going to get to work, and I'll be back in a few, guys. Alright, guys, we can go ahead and take a look here. We got the water running. We got all the trapdoors in. That'll be pushing all of our guys over here and getting them down into our killing chamber. So, which I've already went ahead and set up because stuff kept spawning and I was flushing it down. It was just collecting down there. So, we've got the roof of the farm laid out. From here, all I gotta do now is just connect these up diagonally and fill it in, and then build our AFK platform. And then we can kind of sit here for a little while and let this run. And this would make for the first farm of our industrial district, guys. There's going to be many more farms here and many more farms that aren't here, because some of the farms just can't be set up here. Mainly because I don't know that there's an ocean monument nearby. If there is, that would be awesome to be able to have it right in our industrial district. Good enough. In fact, there might be one a little over that way. But from here, I'm going to go ahead and get this roof filled in and get our AFK platform built. So guys, here we are, up on our AFK platform. So I want to show you guys the farm working, and for that, I have a little mod installed that will help me with showing you guys just that. So after watching a DocM video a while back, I learned about the Tweakeroo mod, which allows you to use a free cam. So rather than having to go and log in my spectator account for this, I can just come down here and show you guys using this. So, just go ahead and pull it back. You see spiders, and we should start seeing there's some creepers. And it spawns enough that if it was going any faster, this would clog up really bad, because as it is, it does take time in between those drops for it to actually kill them all off. So we'll see if this is going to be enough, because this is actually bigger than my one last season. So we got all these platforms ready, and you see these guys about to get flushed off. The creepers are the really important part of this. A few spiders, if they despawn, it's not a big deal. We'll get more than enough string, even if we lose some of them. But if my numbers are correct, this thing should easily be able to fill a double chest within a matter of a few hours. So we've got it all built up and functioning, and I'm sure everybody else in the server will be very happy to hear about this. So I think that's going to be all for this part. The next thing we're going to get onto, I guess, is going to be a hunt for an ocean monument. So all we're going to be really able to do is kind of hunt for it for the moment. I'm going to have to get some backup to help me take out those Elder Guardians, because I'm not the best in combat, very clearly. But I will be back with you guys here in just a few, once we get ready to go on that ocean monument hunt. Alright guys, so now we're back. So, little bit of information for you guys. So after I mentioned that, I pointed out in that direction in that last clip, where I said there might be an ocean monument over there. Well, it turns out I was actually right. There is an ocean monument, and it's actually relatively close to our industrial district. Meaning, our guardian farm can be in the industrial district. That's just awesome. It was completely by accident. I thought I'd seen one time while flying off that direction, over there behind me. And I was right. There was one back there. So that's going to be awesome. we're going to have to build that later on this week. I'm going to have to see if I can recruit a little bit of help for those Elder Guardians, because, man, those things like to wreck me. So I've also got some things to show you guys. So, a little bit of information about me. I have a lot of trouble sleeping. So, last night, I couldn't record at night because, well, my kids and my wife were trying to sleep. And, of course, like I said before, we all share a room right now, which hopefully will be changing in a few months. And, of course, I can do a lot more stuff, like live streams and all kinds of cool stuff. But I started work on a few things. So, we got part of the outline laid out, and I had nothing else to do, so I started laying out part of our subfloor. Of course, it's nowhere close to being laid out. So far, being our subfloor is going to be stone bricks. This has taken about 5 or 6 inventory fulls of stone bricks so far to do. And I got the beacon set up here, and Wizard came by last night after I finished recording out at the creeper farm to help me kind of level some of this. Of course, it's not completely leveled yet. We've still got a good ways to go on this one. So hopefully later on today I can get Wizard out here and he'd be willing to help me finish knocking this down to get it out of the way. We're going to be taking down that portion too, but if we can at least get up to here, down 1 block below this, or well, 1 block below that, then we'd be in good shape. Of course, this cobblestone here marks parts of the outline. And if I actually, let me actually land somewhere real quick, because if I do this, we're going to crash. So I went ahead, put the schematic in the world and lined it up. Of course, it hates the fact that I put blocks here that weren't in the schematic, but it was just meant for the outline. So you can see here where we got this that dips into this mountain here. And it may not look like it, but it's actually quite a big, well, maybe it will look like it. There's a good portion that dips into this right here. So we got our front door marked out. We haven't done anything with those yet, but as long as I leave this schematic loaded, I can, turn it off and on and we'll be able to see it. But all this one is for, it's just for the general shape of the whole thing. We're not going, like, none of the blocks here are specific or anything. They were just the first blocks I grabbed out of the creative inventory. There's always a potential that we have a little bit of an issue with the iron farm and golems spawning on the roof or in the house. That can be fixed pretty easily. We can just either, put string on the roof and put carpets in rooms if they start spawning inside. But the bright side about this whole thing laying down this subfloor is that we actually get a roof over the storage area. And while I was building it, I went ahead and slipped in a temporary staircase. I'm going to make a much better looking one later, so we can go up and down from it pretty easily. So we come in here, we got our whole storage room now. Last night I built most of the cobblestone silo. It's not actually able to be loaded by any other way than manually right now, but I'll get around to finishing that. So as of right now, I have looked at a little bit of the editing, and so far our episode is actually going really well, but it's running a little long. So what I'm going to do, instead of making stuff for next week's episode, I'm going to give you guys an extra episode this week. So you guys are going to get this one today, which is Tuesday, and then I can start working on recording the next episode. So the episode on Friday will not be episode 5. Instead, it will be episode 5.5. Because we got so much going on, I'm able to give you guys an extra video this week. And I'm so happy about that. I've wanted to do a second upload during the week sometimes. And yeah, it's just really awesome. I'm pleased by it. So, with all that being said, this is all we've got time for in this video. Keep on the eye out. Keep on the eye out. Oh my god, my English. And it's my first language, wouldn't you know? Keep your eye out for the next video on Friday. It's going to be even more amazing farm building, and I'm hoping we'll be able to get our Guardian farm up and running here pretty soon. We'll have all the prismarine and sea lanterns we'll ever need. Yes. But if you enjoyed the video, guys, I'm going to walk backwards until I fall to my death. Please leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, go ahead and drop them down in the comments section for me. I always love to hear you guys' suggestions. I find them interesting at times. And actually, and he's going to be happy to hear this, Netix has given me an awesome idea themed around this house. So, in the last video on Friday, he made a comment about the Clue game. And I just thought about it, and I talked to somebody, and we actually got the Armor Statues data pack put in. So, we are going to make the manor in a Clue theme. I loved the idea. I loved the game as a kid, so we're going to run with it. It sounds awesome. So, Netix, I hope you're happy. You have severely influenced this manor. Shame on you. But, as always, I love you guys. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you guys on Friday in the next video. Bye-bye.